Welcome back to episode 10 in the Director of Football Challenge here in Kolding IF, where we got promoted into the Superliga in our third season and now got the task to navigate the transfers to secure survival in our fourth season coming. Lasse Holmgaard, he did it. He got us promoted, and while I think it might be a tiny bit boring keeping him or keeping the same manager all the time, how could we possibly not give him a new contract after this? I mean, we should at least give him the chance. Now, of course, if we do not, I mean, it depends on if he takes the contract or not, of course, but I think we should set a target for him. If he do take a contract, I think we should set a target for him to reach, and that is going to be 20 points in the preliminary phase, right? I think 20 is a pretty good number. That is a high enough number that he could potentially bring us to safety in the next season. And also, if we go below that, then we have a problem, right? So 20 points, but let's first find out if he actually takes a contract. We do finalize a new contract for him, 550 for another year. I do not want to give him something that is longer because we have set this target for him. So we don't want him on a 2-year contract. He wanted a 2-year contract, of course, but yeah, nah. But of course, still quite a significant increase in his wages, but it's not, you know, it's not crazy for us to do 550 for a manager. So yeah, we are gonna keep Lasse Holmgaard for the fourth season. With us going up to the Superliga, the board have decided to do a couple of new things here with the club vision meeting. They want us to play defensively solid football, possession style football, make the most of set pieces, and also play high tempo pressing football. I am okay with 3 of them. Guess which one is not one of them? Yeah, I don't like the defensive solid football because I don't think we can actually handle that. I do not have a good experience trying to get rid of it. I think it's almost impossible to get rid of these things. I hate this part of the game because you seem to never get it, you know, done. It seems like this is always set in stone, but let's try it. Yeah, they're always going bad. Then we try again, suggest, and they go back now, they go orange. If we do this, we have a problem. They might not give us a new contract after that. I mean, it's 1 out of 4 that I don't really like. So I guess I actually, you know what? I've never tried to do the next step here. So what are they saying here? Despite your proposed vision being close to acceptable, we allow these It's not a negotiation if you're not allowed to make any, you know, any changes at all. Then it's not a negotiation. It's just a demand. So this is just basically their demand. The issue we have with your proposal is you're not favor for our defensive football. Why would you like to play defensive football? Or having a defensive solid? Yeah, of course they do. They don't want to see too many scored goals against us, but confirm it. It's just I hate this part of the game because it seems like you can't do anything here. It's just set in stone. You can't change it. Let's go over to the squad planner here in the spreadsheet. Now, this is as it stands right now. This is of course going to change throughout this transfer window. We got quite a significant amount of players being released, as we can see over here. I don't know how many that is, but it's quite a few. Some of them also loan deals, of course. Klingenberg, Madsen, and Abrahamson. They don't want their clubs are not allowing them back in on loan. But maybe later in the transfer window, we could potentially get them in again. We will see. We also still want to sell NJ, and I think we also want to sell Vest if we can. Hopefully we can get rid of them, but we will see. We also got some of the youngsters. Some of them are coming in, and I probably want to loan all of them out again. I don't think any of them is going to be good enough for the senior squad, so I kind of want to loan them out. Some of them might develop out on loan, or otherwise I kind of just like to have a little bit. I just like having a couple of youth academy players here and there, even though they might never be good enough. So we do have them, and they will go out on loan very likely, or some of them will. So, what are we doing over here? Well, I've actually done a couple of things that is a little bit different compared to last time. I set in some this is of course key players or important players. So that is kind of what we're missing. But let's go from the top here. Strikers. We got a new guy coming in, Sørensen, and also Mukau, and also Mukali. I think that's pretty sorted. I don't think we need anything else there. I'm pretty happy with those 3 options. Especially the 2 first. I don't think we need a better striker than them. I'm okay with that, actually. On the AML side here, winger, we definitely need a key player. Well, important player or key player. I don't think we can rely on Moscoli and also a new guy coming in called Dosu, who's more of a youngster. we can't really rely on those two to do the deal over here. They don't have the numbers here, as you can see. We probably want a key player here. Same on the other side, basically. Sørensen can come down and play here fairly well as an inside forward. Dosu is also there, but again, probably in need of a key player. MCL, or central midfielder left, we need a key player. I'm not going to rely on Sommer to be playing up here. Same with Muscoli. He can play so many places, Muscoli. That's why we brought him in. He can just play all 4 places, actually 5 places up front, well, or in the midfield. But we definitely need an extra body in there, and that body needs to be an important or key player as well. On the other side, I think we're fine with Gustina, and if we can bring in a youngster, I would be okay with having a youngster, Musculi and Gustina. I think that would be okay, but we definitely need one more. Yeah. Sommer on the defensive midfield, I think he is okay to be the main guy, but if we do find someone better, this might be, instead of a backup, it could be a key player instead of Sommer. And maybe a youngster as well. We definitely need some options here, that's for sure. Further down, we have the fullback on the left-hand side. I see Høst as a backup rotational option, so we do need a important or key player here as well. Central defender. Yeah, I mean, we probably need a key player. See, here's the thing. I put Suftik on a question mark because I don't know if they're going to take a new contract. So even then, we might need all 3 positions here. We might need a key player, backup, and a youngster. Also over here, Suftik. Maybe we also need a youngster here. I mean, it doesn't need to be a youngster, just someone filling the spot. If we do get injuries, we need someone to back it up. On the other side, central defender right-hand side, again, it depends, but definitely we have this guy coming in, Cluster, who is a key man. He is an important player, so that's fine. Terzic, we don't know. We don't know yet. We'll figure that out. Youngster as well. We definitely need something down here. No matter what, we'll definitely need something in the central defense area. Fullback on the right, we are 100% in need of a key player over there, and we don't really know about Terzic, and ideally he's not a fullback, so yeah, we might also just need a backup, a very good youngster or something like that over here. Last but not least, we have Moser for another year in goal, which is really, really good. We just need a backup or a youngster to, make sure that if he do get injured, we have a decent backup or a youngster with us. So that's basically right now what we know we need to go out and find. And I think we need, like, let's just say 15 players, including Terzic and Suftik. So like 15 players or around that number we actually need to go out and find. Something to note about the new division we are going into, the Superliga, is that yes, they do play 22 games in the preliminary phase, like the one we came from. But when we are going over to the championship group or the relegation stage, we play 32, not 10, 32 extra games. So that's, what is that, 22 extra games each season now. That means we likely need a few more squad rotational options just because of injuries, because of the amount of more games, which means the amount of more injuries we would also get. So we definitely need a few extra bodies in there compared to last season. That's why I'm setting it to 15 and not 12, right? We don't need 12 extra, we need probably 15 extra. In terms of the finances, I do believe this 1.1 million in negative will probably go into plus when we do get the sponsor deals and stuff in. We haven't gotten that yet. So I think it will go to plus. Now, we still need to manage our finances, clearly. But going into the Superliga, there will be more money in there. TV stuff and also just prize money. There will be more money. And we do have 41k to spend in wages. I don't plan on spending that much. But right now we are committed spending 13k because we basically don't have a squad. We will also increase the staff wages quite a bit. We will probably just increase the quality and also have a couple of new coming in. And also probably make sure that the B squad is looking okay because we will have some B team players in there anyway. I am using quite a lot of money on scouting. As you can see here, it's actually in 200k minus. So that's one of the, the big spenders where you normally wouldn't see a big spender because the way I scout is a little bit more expensive, I suppose, than what you would normally do. So yeah, that's the finances. I don't think we need to worry too much about it. I think we are looking okay, but I still don't really want to go out and just, offer players 10,000 in wages or something like that, crazy, or 5k. I'm not gonna go up to that. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not sure what the new target is. I'm still like wondering what the new wage budget target should be. Maybe 3.5. I'm thinking maybe 3.5k is around the number I'm looking for. I can already tell you now that probably Erwin Suftik is not gonna be staying around. He was brilliant for us in the last season, but he wants to be an important player, and he also wants around 2.5k in wages. That is more than I'm willing to give this kind of type of player. So I see him as a squad player, right? And no. So we might also need to find another one on the central defense on the left-hand side. Adi Terzic's agent here, his agent didn't really like our last talk with him, so he don't really want to stay now. So all of our central defenders are gonna be gone as well here. So we got a big job here. We got a really big job this transfer window for sure. Finally, the board is allowing us to actually get the National A license. Still a long way to go, but well, it's a start. Hopefully we can become a little bit better in the future. Let's actually take a look at the profile here. We are up to level 9 in level of discipline, people management 9. Alright, well, it is going up, but it will go even further up in 4 months' time. We have a double signing situation. We have a center back here, and we also do have a fullback coming in. The first one is Jomar Geist. Yeah, he's Dutch. 1.3k in wages. He's an impact sub. And I mean, he could be a starter, but I do hope we find someone a little bit better than him, and he is going to be the impact sub instead. His wages could go significantly up throughout the season if he do play a lot. 25 games, he's going to go up to 2.2k, which is a lot for a player like him. He's going to be here for 3 years. That's the longest contract we are going to give here. 3-year contract, and it does cost us almost 10k to bring him over the line here because of, well, agent fees and stuff. So let's take a look at him. He is fairly good. Is he as good as our previous player? I haven't checked that out. Go ahead and let's make sure we are, maybe Jonas Jensen. Yeah, let's check him out compared to Jonas Jensen. He is a lot better in the air, mentally, and in the air, also way faster than Jonas Jensen was. But his vision, attacking, and technique is nowhere near those levels. Nowhere near. But he's not a bad player. He's definitely not a bad player. But more so just a very, very standard central defender type, right? Very standard. He do have a lot of cons, but none of them are those that I really dislike. So again, he's a youngster. Well, he's not a youngster. He's 21, so he's probably going to be needed to be registered. But that's not a problem for us. We got plenty of room to register people. So yeah, that is the first player in, and I am fairly happy with that. I did actually sign him to go and play either side, right? Like third option, sort of the third option in either spots. He could also be second option in either slots, but we will see about that. But definitely a good signing to begin with, I think. Also, price-wise here, 1.3k to begin with. Not too high, and then it can go up later on, which could be a problem, but hopefully not. Next one is a little bit more expensive, 1.8k. Not at our, roof, which the roof right now where I sit it is 2.5k. That's the maximum I want to give anyone. So 1.8k is quite a bit for someone I am gonna have as a squad player. Is he a squad player? That depends on who else we get in, but I am gonna accept him. He's a 30-year-old fullback, Erik Lindell, and he could have a 1-year extension if we do not go down. He is actually gonna be here for 1.5 seasons. He actually wanted to be 1.5 seasons, so he's gonna be here until December 27. That's kind of an interesting one. Erik Lindell, here he is. Fairly good wingback, but why he could also be a squad player is because he could very well also play on the other side as a complete wingback, or more so probably as an inverted wingback, as a support role or something like that, sitting in the defensive midfield. That is interesting to me, and that's why we got him in. But of course, he is expensive. 1.8k is quite a lot for a fullback that is maybe a squad player. But he will definitely slot in both of those spaces. Fullback on the right, fullback on the left, or well, in this case, wingbacks. So yeah, I am fairly happy with this signing as well. We also got our first loan deal coming in here. It is Oscar Winterberg from surprise, surprise, FC Copenhagen. 1.5k in wages, and he is gonna rival Lindell to the fullback area, actually. So that's gonna be interesting. And what is a little bit special about this guy is that I do sign, actually Lindell also had, I'll show you. Oscar Winterberg do have the inconsistency over here in orange. I think it would be crazy not taking him, even with the inconsistency here. He is just really, really good, right? He is a very good player. And he will probably more than likely gonna be the first choice over there. FC Copenhagen want him to play as an inverted wingback, so maybe. He's a fairly strong left-footed guy. Maybe we are gonna have a season with inverted fullbacks or inverted wingbacks. Yeah, sure. Let's see how it goes. We have seen Lasse Holmgaard do that before, and I guess when we are forcing his hand, it might improve our overall, possession style football. Will it work in the Superliga? I don't know, but yeah, there he is. That is gonna be another signing, and I was just about to tell you about Lindell here again, because I did actually also get one with the big matches in orange, but I don't that's okay. That is okay, but if it was red, no go, right? If it is a red injury prone, no go. If it's an orange injury prone, that's a no go. If it is a consistency red, also no go. If it is an orange consistency, if they are really, really good like the other guy over here, then it's gonna be okay, but not great. Not too many of those, but it's okay. And if it's a big match red, no go. Big match orange, fine. I can live with that. Just to make it clear that that's kind of my mindset about it. So yeah, that is basically the fullback area on the right-hand side fixed. That's done, I think. I don't think we need anything else there. More loan deals. Mikael Sjöqvist. I think it's Sjöqvist. Whatever it is, he is here. 1.8k in wages. He is a midfielder, 18-year-old from Midtjylland. And yeah, of course, important player. Masila, midfielder, right? Likely gonna be playing on the left, but he is mostly right-footed. So that's how he looks. He is definitely a Masila. Very, very quick, very good physicals. Really like those physicals. Not very good when it comes to marking or tackling. Well, tackling is 10, but marking is 6. So that's kind of his only weak attribute, and also not being very big, jumping reach and also hitting. But otherwise, when it comes to him on the ball, and also running with the ball, yeah, he should be fine. He should be fine with that. Off the ball is also really, really good here. I do think he's gonna play on the left, but it could also be Sommer playing on the left, and this guy and Gustina like in a, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna figure that one out, but that's not my problem. But yeah, I hope he's gonna be playing on the left. That would be preferred for me. But we will see. We'll see about that. We got a bit of a cheap signing here. Jonathan Morlam, £200. Sorry, euros. It's because I've always played on pounds. So, and that is euro. Breakthrough prospect. So I cannot guarantee you that I'm gonna call him a first team member, but I do actually sign him right now, at least, and also because he's so cheap, I do sign him as a backup to Sommer. Right, he's gonna be a defensive midfielder, sort of backup to Sommer. Is he good enough to do that? I don't know. I have my doubts because his marking and tackling is really, really low, and that is kind of a worry. He's probably more of a Masila, to be honest, without the dribbling, but he is probably someone that probably would prefer to stay further forward. So, but I do sign him as a defensive midfielder, but he could definitely also go up here. He will probably take out one of the slots further up as the youngster slot, the third slot. But he might not be good enough for this season, but it is a guy that we're going to have for... How long did I sign him for? To 28, right? We have him for 2 years. So he is a guy for the future, and maybe someone we can make a little bit of money off. Maybe he's going out on loan. I'm not too sure yet. But, well, he's here, so deal with it. Nah, I think he's good. Look at the physicals, right? Just the physicals alone are pretty good. Then he got all the attributes to be a passer in the midfield. So I think he's fine. It's a good signing. It's just not a sign. Actually, did I pay money for him? No, but I might pay money for the next one. But yeah, there we go. Jonathan Morlem. All right, guys. So we got one here. that I think we need to cancel. Unfortunately, I think we need to cancel it. It is a backup goalkeeper for 1.9k. That's too, even with how good he is, it is too much. I think he would actually rival Marcel, our other goalkeeper. He's very, very good. Don't get me wrong, this guy is very, very good. He played last year in the Superliga, so didn't do too well, to be honest, but still, that's worth a mention. I think, and getting him as a backup is crazy, but I don't think our finances can handle it. And also, yeah, it's mostly to do with finances. We are right now committed spending 36k, which is, I know it's at 41 to begin with, but I actually took some of it to the scouting budget and also some of it to the transfer budget. And I don't think we are going to spend 2k or almost 2k on a goalkeeper. I would rather find someone else that is not that good. I mean, I wouldn't mind someone that good, but 1.9k is just too much to handle, so we're gonna cancel it. Oh, it hurts so much because he is really, really good for that. He is really good for that amount of money, but we can't afford it because we have a couple of spots we need to fill before we take someone like him. We are spending money for the first time ever. we have a fee. 3.5k and also a rather ridiculous big percentage of next sale, 40%. OB or AAB is gonna get 40% of this sale if we do sell him later on. We are spending money, guys, yes, on a center back or maybe, I'm not sure, but fullback. Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy. So you do have a relegation release clause of 575k, which I'm perfectly happy with. He's on 875, which is rather cheap compared to what we get. Regular starter time, I think he is going to be a regular. I don't know where he's going to be a regular, but he is likely going to be a regular. Let's take a look at him and why I'm not sure where he's going to play. This is it, right? He might be a wingback. he might be a white center back or libero or no nonsense, or I mean, I don't think he got the numbers to be a center back, to be honest. I think he might be better as a fullback with the crossing and the dribbling and the first touch technique as well here. Off the ball is pretty good, decision making, determination. He could be an inverted wingback as well because he do have the very strong, the reasonable right foot. You know, he can do a lot of things, this guy. He can definitely fill some spots, but how our manager is going to play him, I am not too sure. There is also one other thing that we need to take care of right away, and that is we do need to try and get rid of this personality trait for him. Fickle is not something you want to see unless they... Fickle is okay as long as they are young, but you want to train it out of them. So we do need, and I have started to make more and more decision making in terms of training. I don't really... Yeah, I mean, I mostly just talk to them, but a guy like this, I will set up a mentoring group for him, for sure. That is needed, that is needed. And this is also a guy that could become good enough to sell further down the line, so we do need to do that. So yeah, I think he's a very good signing for 3.5k. I think that's worth it. I mean, his physicals alone are really good, and he got so many good numbers when it comes to being on the ball. Off the ball, I mean, yes, he do have off the ball 13, but when we talk about defensive kind of things, marking and tackling, that is a bit of a worry. Composure and concentration levels is also fairly low. But overall, I'm very happy with this, and I think he's going to be a regular starter this season. So, well, where he's going to play, we'll see. We'll see. I did manage to find us a backup goalkeeper. Now, he still cost 1k, right? He's still going to be 1k. Is that too much? Well, I did actually, and if I knew this, I would probably have taken the other goalkeeper that cost us 1.9. I did manage to find some extra finances, so we actually have only 32k committed spending right now, but we also do have some key players to come in that we need to come in. So I think 1k is okay on a, backup goalkeeper here. I feel comfortable about that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Leo Besson. A Bosnian, or is that Kosovo? I think it's Kosovo, actually, not Bosnian. So Kosovo player here, and he's okay. He's gonna be here for 2 years, or no, 1.5 years. As a backup, that's fine. He's fine as a backup. So there we are. We got a backup goalkeeper. We got another double signing situation here. And the first one is very, very good news for us. Martin West Madsen, our winger from last season, is gonna be staying around. Yes. Oh man, that's so good. He was probably the second best last season. So him staying around, yes please, for £500. Sorry, euros. I should just change it to pounds at this stage, shouldn't I? But yeah, he's gonna be staying around. We know exactly what he is all about. So there he is, of course, very, very good player. And that is also sorting out our left-hand side, at least. I don't think we need anything else on the left-hand side of our wingers now. I think that is pretty much sorted with this guy coming in again. But we also had another player coming in, so that was him. Now this one is a big one. I'm still not too sure about it. I think we need to think about this one. Melde Karpstein. He's a German, 28 years of age. Star player, agreed playing time, 2.5k. So the absolute maximum I'm willing to give out. And he is not cheap. This guy is not coming cheap. He also got a 1-year extension after League Games final season 20, so he would likely be staying 3 years if we were to take him. Minimum fee release clause of 450, which is okay. If we can get 450 for him, I would be okay with this. Because he is a non-contracted, so we don't pay anything for him in the first place, except from whatever loyalty bonuses and stuff, which is quite a significant. That's basically like a fee. We're basically paying 50k to get this guy in, plus also agent fees. That is a lot of money for us. I think we need to take a look at him again and figure out if we actually want him. Is this really what we want to do? Or do we want something a little bit cheaper? I mean, he is very good, and if we do take him, he would fill a couple of spots in our team. He could play central defender on the left, he's left-footed, or he could play as a inverted fullback, or maybe no-nonsense fullback out here. He would be very good at that kind of role, and maybe that would be fairly good if we had an inverted wingback on the other side, right? Might be something to think about. And he could also go up and play an anchor man or a defensive midfielder. So he could also do that kind of job. So he can, I mean, he's definitely best in a central defender role, but he can fill out 3 different spots for us. That is, but it's such a tough choice. I think he's quality. I do think he's quality. Let's check up on his injuries as well, because this guy, we need to check up on everything. Nothing. Just a tight hamstring for 3 days. That is literally nothing. Let's check out his career stats. So he has played in the German 3rd division for, while the game is running, he did. He has also played in he played in the Bundesliga to begin with, the 2nd Bundesliga. That's pretty high up the leagues. I think 3rd division here is probably equal to the league we were in before. He's basically the same kind of, so as you can tell, yeah, it's still, I'm a little bit worried about it, because is he gonna be, I mean, he's gonna be good enough, but is he good enough for the money, right? It's a bit of a risk, isn't it? Also, his mentals are not that great. His composure is not that great. I don't know. Maybe we're paying a little bit too much for this guy. The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking we're paying too much. But he do fill 3 roles. He is actually taking a bit of a no. He does get more wages coming to us. Do I delay this? Do I have enough money to delay it? Not really. The problem is, if I'm gonna go in on someone else, I would be hurting myself by delaying it, because then I wouldn't have enough wages to actually get another guy. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really tough choice. The toughest choice I've had in all transfers we have had in this series. Because this is a lot of money, and it's probably not it's not money we're gonna get back again. So he needs to be good enough to, you know, be starting in for us for probably 2 seasons or 3 seasons. That is kind of a lot. I am gonna go with no. I'm actually gonna go with no. It took me a long time to get to this conclusion, but I think it's too much. We could potentially get something on a loan deal that is even better than this for a lot cheaper. I think it's too much. While he fitted a couple of roles that we really needed here, but I think it's just too much to take. I think he's too much. So there we go. We're gonna cancel it. So I went through my entire thought process there, and just, yeah, it's going to be a cancel. To begin with, I thought I would sign him, but no. Yeah, After a couple of minutes, it's gonna be a no. An interesting little thing here, Nordic Bet Liga signing of the season, Gustina. Yeah, and also runner-up, Suftik. Yeah, he's gonna leave us, unfortunately. He wants to be an important player, and I cannot give him important player role. But yeah, Gustina, that's nice. That's really lovely. That's a bit of a surprise, actually. He is signing of the season last season, not for us, but for this season, for the entire Liga. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wonder what this could be. Board requested meeting to discuss club improvements. Now, I just noticed that, and I didn't show you actually, but we had some links as affiliates with 2 other clubs nearby us. C Sport Club, which is actually kind of interesting because I played with this club last season in FM23 for 15 seasons or something like that. They are also in Kolding, just, you know, another place in Kolding. Very small club. That is terminated, and also another one with Christianfeld IF is terminated. So I wonder if they are trying to find another affiliation here. Let's check it out. How would you feel if you were to begin looking for a suitable affiliate club? Yeah. So it is what I thought it would be. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, we don't have a lot of loan deals or, you know, youngsters right now, but I in the future, if we are staying in this club for the long term as a DOF, I think we would sign a lot more youngsters, so it would make sense to have this. But maybe we could, because they are kind of agreeable right now, so maybe we could get away with something else, because this might not be the best thing for us. But then again, would we like to spend a lot of money on training facilities or a new stadium? Or nah, we don't need a new stadium, but something like that. No, I think it would be okay. I think it would be good for the club to secure an affiliate in another country in order to boost our international profile. That might be interesting. A more controlled environment, a young players to on loan. I guess maybe getting players out on loan would be the best thing. Like a third division. A third division would be really good. Let's try that. Brilliant. Okay, they're gonna go with that one. So that's interesting. That's actually the first time the board is coming to us and not the other way around. We got another loan deal coming in. Edvard Petersen, I think you would pronounce it in Danish. 20-year-old midfielder. He is gonna be defensive midfielder, actually. I managed to negotiate it over to a defensive midfielder because he could also play a midfielder, and they actually would rather play him as a midfielder, but I got them to accept it as a defensive midfielder. FC Midtjylland is where he's from, 1.3k, and a lot of, well, actually just a small bit of playing monthly fee, but it's actually not that much. It's just making his wages like, I don't know, what, 1.5, 1.6 or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna accept that, and that is fixing the defensive midfield area quite a bit. Now, there is one thing. I would rather have had a guy that was more of a defensive midfielder and then have Masilers and deep line playmakers further forward. But because this is just a very, very good player to take in, he's probably going to be the best players at the club. Maybe. His numbers suggest that he's going to be around that. I just don't see how I would not take him. He looks fantastic. I don't actually have the scout report anymore, but I had it to begin with, and I'm fairly... now I'm actually a little bit worried. Did I make a mistake here? Did I not have the coach report? Did I just see the numbers and think, oh, he's good? Well, I guess we're gonna figure out in just a moment's time, because we already signed him. Did I do I might have made a mistake here. Oh boy, but we got him already, so... But yeah, I think he's gonna be playing as a deep line playmaker, but that's up to our manager to handle. But it would make sense to do that with the kind of numbers he has. But he could also play him as a Segunda, but I think it would leave our defense a little bit too open doing that. So I don't know, it might not be a good idea. Because most of our midfielders are also more going forward than they are defensive minded. We don't have a lot of defensive minded midfielders right now, or for this season, so that is a little bit of a worry. But I am actually kind of interested in seeing, did I do a mistake? No, I didn't. I was kind of sure that I, had, because I wouldn't sign someone that I couldn't see a scout report on. So it was just not there anymore. It's just because it was a couple of weeks ago and it apparently wasn't something I could see anymore. Well, there we go. Full scouting report here when he is in. We can see that he is a consistent player. And, well, he is very one-footed. Is he? Oh, yeah, right-footed. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of fixing our defensive midfield problems, and I think we only really need 2 more in. We probably need a winger or inside forward on the right hand side, and probably a central defender on the left hand side. And then I think we're good. I think that's the last 2 things we need. Speak of the devil, and he comes. Well, no, not really, but yeah, we are back in Midfield, back at the Wolves. Yeah, they are, yeah, as you can see in the badge, Wolves. This is, yeah, Jonas Jensen is back. He's back, 800 pounds. So actually, Midfield picked him up. Where was he from before? Lyngby, right? He was playing in Lyngby before. Then we have him on loan last season, and then Midfield picked him up. He didn't want to come for us. I did try and get him on directly but he nah. But on a loan deal, now when he was picked up by Midfield, there we go. We got him back. So that's really good. We get our central defender who can also play on the right hand side. Actually, last season he did play on the right hand side. But this season, well, again, it's up to the manager to decide where he's going to play. But he could definitely play on the left-hand side with a strong left foot. So, that's pretty good. What? He's now inconsistent? Well, he played fine for us last season, so... What? that's... He's 7 point... Well, okay. I mean, let's take a look at the form here. Did he really... All teams... Wait. No. Can we see last season? We can't see last season. That's strange, isn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is inconsistent. He didn't look inconsistent. He looked fairly good, but yeah, he's in the red inconsistent. Now that is a mistake, but I would probably take him anyway because of how he performed last season. So, you know, that is, I mean, if that's the one mistake I'm gonna make, then it doesn't feel like a mistake, if you know what I mean. But alright, sure. But yeah, he's in as well. In some other news, we do also have some new staff members and a lot of things happening in here. Just want to quickly show you what is going on. We got a couple of new coaches. We got this guy, 775. He is kind of expensive, but he's filling 2 roles. Basically, he is our goalkeeping coach and he's also a general trainer. So yeah, he's filling. I actually haven't done the individual setup, but whatever, I'll do that later on. And we also do have this guy, another coach, just generally speaking, just a very good coach. So that is great to have him. Also quite high wage here, 575. So we are definitely increasing our wage budget quite significantly. Fitness coach, way better than the one we had before, so I'm very happy with that. He's actually quite good, this guy, compared to our level, of course. Could he be better? Sure, they can always be better until they get 20 in numbers. But yeah, Sangenberg, Mathias Sangenberg, actually he's a former player. I remember him. I just don't know where he played. Doesn't matter, but I do remember seeing him before. And we also do have a new performance analyst. Actually, that's not true. That's the same guy. I just thought we had a new one, but no, that is the same guy as before, and they are very expensive. This guy is very cheap. That's why I'm keeping him, and I'm not getting anyone else because they are just too expensive. They cost 1,000 wages and above, like up to 4,000. I don't think it's worth it. Scouts, we do have one new scout, 350 pounds. Decent. Very, very decent, I would say. I kind of like that. Also opens a bit more up for the German market. Not that we actually scout the German market, but hey, maybe we do that in the future. But of course, our scouts are nowhere near the best in the Superliga, nor is our coaches. But at least we got, yeah, I mean, they're okay. Especially fitness is up there, right? And our goalkeeping also got a little bit of an upgrade. Over here, we didn't really get anyone new, did we? No. We do also have some new staff members down here. We did not get a new one here, or am I mistaken? Oh yeah, we did get a coach here. I did get a coach for the B team because we will probably have a couple of players in the B team, and I thought, sure, let's get him. The other one, the assistant manager, is just a non-contracted month-to-month kind of guy who has been here all the time, so no worries there. Down here, I did actually also sign a coach for the under 19s. Did I need to do that? No, I did not, but I could get a really cheap one and a really good one. Now, if I fill this up, we could definitely get way higher, but again, we are not really using this academy right now. But I did go out and find this. This is kind of funny because we got 2 women in our under 19s. We got a physio, and also it's not very old. There's not that many women in professional football on the man's side, but yeah, we got one of them, Marie Opel. she's fairly good, and she does not cost a lot on the wage bill, so hopefully she can take care of some of the youngsters not going out on loan. Still have the physio, of course. She is probably the best in the league still. So yeah, we got a bit of a girl power down here. Abdulu Ninjai, or Njai, is finally leaving us. We don't get any money for him, but getting him off the wage bill will help out a little bit in terms of finding someone else maybe, so I am pretty happy with that. So there it is. Actually, how does the wage bill look like when we continue? We do have a friendly here against Vibor. It's not far from us getting to start the season now. I think that is actually the last friendly right there. Let's just take a look at the finances here. Yeah, we could go out and get a really good winger. A really, really good winger if we wanted to now. We might do that just to really, you know, try and get the best we can get. That would be maybe a pretty good deal here near the end of the transfer window. Vilas West is going out on loan. We had him transfer listed, but someone, Hope Kuru, is coming in for him. Full wages and a bit extra. So yeah, it's only 5 months because his contract is running out in 5 months, but yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Also, the board have returned with an affiliate club verdict. I haven't looked at them, but we do have Dalum, Nesby and Heightened in there. Okay, let's go in and see what we can do here, because it will be probably easier to loan some of our players away to these guys. We got 3rd division, 2nd division, and the Denmark series. Okay, so any of them cost us anything? No. So the question is, what level do we want to take here? I'm thinking 3rd division. I'm thinking Dalum. Dalum is also in Kolding. Dalum is a, what is it called? You know, on the outskirts of Kolding, and it makes sense to take them because it's right next to us. It makes sense in terms of the 3rd division. Training facilities, it's a 1-star, and youth facilities a 1-star. That's kind of the only thing that I was thinking about here that might not make sense for us. Actually, can we see their squads? Can we see what type of players they have here? Do we have any knowledge? We do have a little bit of knowledge. Let's take a look at this guy. I think our youth players would be around the same level as them. So I think it would make sense to go in on Dalum here as the affiliate. Because the more youth, and I will take in more and more youth players. So it makes sense to take the one that make... Oh, no, it's Dalum. Oh, it's Dalum in Odense. Oh, okay. Well, not that it make much more difference here, but okay, it's not... Because there is also a Dalum in Kolding. So, okay, well, fair enough. Nesby is also in Odense. That is a 2nd division kind of club. They do have better training facilities and better youth facilities. So, you know, I think we again need to look at their players and see if... I think they are of a higher quality. Like if we go for someone... I mean, we don't really know much about them. Wages here, 700. So he's up there. Yeah, I think we could go for them instead. This guy looks a little bit better than what we have in terms of youth academy players. But I guess if we do take youth academy players, it would be the next set of youth academy players we take would be of 2nd division kind of, hopefully, that kind of place. I don't think Denmark series is gonna be it. I think that's too low. They do actually have decent training facilities, and it would be very easy to loan to Heightened because they are in the 3rd group, or in the Danish series, which is 4th division. I don't know. Actually, it's the 5th tier, isn't it? I don't know. It could be very good to bring them down there. They would get a lot of playtime, but I'm not sure that's the level we want to go for here. I think maybe this is more it. I think Dalum with a 3rd division is a much better fit for us. We're gonna go with that. Let's recommend this team, and hopefully they are gonna accept that. Alrighty, we are back in the squad planner spreadsheet here, and the transfers is not really done just yet, but the episode is coming to an end. And yeah, because we have the first game in the Superliga is upon us, and also this episode is, you know, fairly long already, so there you are. Right, there is a couple of things in here that I have added, and yeah, I got the positions over here for the youngsters, as you can see, so we kind of know, you know, what position they are playing. I don't think we need that over here because we already know what positions they're going to be playing. A couple of other things I've added is squad depth or depth suited first team players. You can see it down here under each individual position, and basically the number corresponds to what I think is suited first team players. Now, yeah, so it follows the same logic with the colors here. Green, really good. orange average and red bad, right? So we don't really have any red, because the only red that would be a thing would be if we only have one player somewhere. 2 players is, you know, bright orange. So yeah, it is what it is, because 4 players is probably good, or 5 players is definitely good, and 4 players is like kind of, what is that, yellow. So yeah, that's just giving us an idea, or again, just giving us another information on where we might need to consider buying someone, because it doesn't really show that we have 7 players who can actually play in the midfield on either side. Now, that's not really it, because some of them are right-footed and some of them are left-footed, but technically they can play both places. So though there is only 3 in here, there is actually 7 players that can play that position, technically how I see it. So yeah, that's why I do it. And also up here, total first team players, 19. So right now we have 19 players in our first team squad, which is probably 1 or 2 too few. Probably want to hit 20, maybe 21, thereabout. But otherwise, I think we're good. Otherwise, I think we are pretty good. So how are we looking? Well, strikers, I think we're good. Don't really want to add anything. We got 5 players that can play up here, and 2 of them are like main kind of players, and the rest is like more just they can play there, suited. They are suited to play there, but probably not gonna be first choices. So that's fine. On the left hand side, I think we're fine. We only really have 3 players that can actually play here, but that is those 3 players, and I think we're fine. If I hope Madsen is not getting injured, but if he does, I think Mukuli and Dosu can probably do a job for us. On the right hand side, on the other hand, that is probably where we are weakest right now, because Sørensen is also the second striker up here, and he might even be starting over Mukau, but I think Mukau might be starting more than Sørensen, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But he's injured right now, so we don't even. This guy is actually injured. He's out for, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. And so this is definitely a weak area. We do have 4 players that can play over here, which is those 2. It is Mukuli, and it is also, I forgot. I don't remember what the 4th player is, but there is 4 players that can play here. So it's not. Oh, it's actually Madsen. Madsen can also play over here. So, you know, so that might actually be something he do. Maybe Madsen is going to be playing over here the first game, and then maybe letting Mukuli play over here, or the opposite, Mukuli over here. It's actually more likely that Mukuli is going to play over here. But yeah, that's we definitely need a key player. That's like the last spot we really need to nail. And yeah, it's a bit of a concern that we don't have that yet, but we do have the wage. We do actually have the wages to go out and find someone really good. I just haven't managed to find it yet. So yeah, there we go. Midfield, well, with 7 players that can potentially play in here, I think we're looking good. It might actually be our strongest, one of our strongest areas, the midfield. We have Gustina, we have Sjöquist, we have Sommer, we have Marlem as the backup, and lots of other players can also play there. So it should be fairly okay in that area. DM Peterson, I think he's gonna be good. He looks fairly good. Sommer as the backup and Moralem as the 3rd choice, so we are good there as well. We only have 3 players that can technically play here, but those 3 are also gonna be fine. I don't really see an issue here at all. Fullback on the left hand side might be a little bit of a weak area, but it's hard to tell yet, and it's also hard to tell who is gonna play out here. I think it's either gonna be Rasmussen or Høst. I don't think Lindell is gonna be playing over here. He is definitely better on the right hand side, but he could play over here if we need him to. But I think it's probably gonna be Rasmussen, but it depends on tactically how the manager likes it. Because right now Rasmussen has played a lot in the central defense, but with Jensen now in there in the mix, I am not too sure about it. But we'll see what he does in this area. Høst has been playing it mostly in the friendlies, so who knows? Anyway, on the central defense area on the left, we are really good actually. We got Jensen, we got Gøsthuv, and we also got Rasmussen can play in there. It's and we technically also the Cluster could also play over here, but yeah, we don't really want him to. But as a 4th option, sure, he can move over there and play there, even with a fairly weak left foot. He can do that, and the opposite way, yeah, same idea. Anyone can play on the right hand side, and Cluster is of course the main choice here. Geesthoff as the 2nd choice, and Rasmussen do have a fairly good right foot as well, so he could basically Rasmussen is 3rd choice in both spots. I think that's fine. Is he a good central defender? Probably not. I think Geersthoff is a better central defender, but you know, it's I think we're okay in that area. Four squad depth in both spots basically. But of course, it's overlapping. It's 100% over. I mean, you need to look at these depth things as overlapping because we only have 19 players, right? We only have a total of 19 players. So there is a lot of overlap, and that's how I like to do it here. On the right-hand side, I think we could... That's like another area where we could potentially have that one extra body. We do have Winterbear, which is definitely the first choice, and he looks good. He's played as an inverted wingback already, and he looks fine. No worries there. Lindell, a very, very solid second option. But if one of them get injured, we don't have the squad depth, right? We only have 2 guys. There is no one else that can play out there. So a youngster or something coming in that could actually play there would be nice. Right now, we don't even have a youngster that could play there. We have one on the left side. I haven't put him in there because they're not good enough. I want to loan them out, right? I want to loan them out. But there could be someone coming in. So, yeah. Goalkeepers. Typically I don't like to have more than 2, but if we do find a youngster that looks good, or if I do find a youngster throughout the season or the remainder of the transfer that looks good, I might bring them in on like 500 or 600 wages or something like that. I'm not against that. A third choice here could also be a thing, because we do only have 2 right now, but those 2 are definitely good. We have a really good backup in Besson. 20 is pretty decent as a backup, I would say. But Moser, definitely first choice. So to sum that up, key player here, maybe a youngster, and then we're good to go. I think that's it. I think we're good to go then. But of course, this season is starting now, so in terms of the youngsters, I want to touch on this. I am gonna go over the squad depth in our new affiliate, and then I'm gonna figure out if there's room for them to play, or if I think they are better than the players that they already have, and then I'm gonna move them over there. Otherwise, I'm still trying to move them to other places as well. But having that affiliate is helping us out, maybe getting some of these players out on loan and playing in a first 11 team that is playing in a division, rather than having them at our B team. And if we can do that, we will move them out. But right now, I haven't seen the squads report yet. I'm waiting on that. But I will move these out if I can, for sure. Yeah, so let's go over to the game again. So to round this episode off, I think we should just touch on, the whole area with the competition. Right. What are we aiming for? The board thinks we should fight bravely against relegation. I agree with that, but I think we should be expecting to beat the relegation. If we can get a 10th place this season, I would be happy with that. 10th place would be very good because that is securing survival. 2 teams are going down. I would be really happy with that. If we can do that, I am really good. Now, in terms of let's just check up on that. The season preview, we are definitely, we are at the bottom, 100% at the bottom. I don't think there is anything to say about that, really. We are definitely the worst team in the league. So, like I said, if we can beat Sønderjyske and Vejle to that 10th spot, that would be, success. And if we do go down, that doesn't mean that we're going to end the series or, we're moving club or anything. It just means we go again. Yeah, we just go again. Or at least likely so, unless Kolding IF decides to remove us. But we also have that target for our manager, Lasse Holmgaard, 20 points. That's a lot of points. That's actually a lot of points. That is a lot of points in 22 games. He needs to get a lot of points to actually survive this. But we have set the target and he needs to get there. Otherwise, we will find a new manager. But that's going to be next episode, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this. It was a long one, this one. But yeah, I really like everything about this. I love the transfer market. I love setting it up in the squad spreadsheet planner and all of that kind of stuff. Doing the contracts, all of that. I just love doing this DOF thing. You know what? I don't even care about not doing tactics. It's not even... I don't really. It's fine. Watching the games, on the other hand, I would love to watch the game sometimes. I would love to also be able to show you some of the games. Not a lot of them, but just sometimes. We can't really do that when we play this way, unfortunately. So that's the only thing that I really don't like about it. But there is a lot to like. And hopefully Sports Interactive is maybe doing something with this in the future, or at least allowing us to play it a little bit more easy. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you around next time.